Well, a memorial food drive that started 24 years ago is coming up next month in Hamilton. Lorraine Hoult, whose son Kyle started it all, joins us with more. And let's start off with Kyle's story, because he wanted to make sure that no child goes hungry.
That's right. So when Kyle was diagnosed with leukemia when he was 6, he was very concerned about children being hungry, because he was watching commercials about children's aid around in Africa, and he felt that that was something that really upset him. And so when he was 7, he decided to start his own food drive, because we explained to him that not only in Africa but in Canada we have many, many children that are going without food, which was very surprising to him, and so he wanted to help. And it was a really good distraction during chemotherapy for him to have something to do after chemo. And we would take food, we go from the hospital to the food bank, and even if it was just to put one can on the food on the shelves, that was something he looked forward to. And then we'd go home and he'd usually fall asleep. Yeah, it was helping out somebody else, right? Yeah, and it was taking the mind off of the chemotherapy that he was receiving, because the chemotherapy was every week for 25 months. So it was quite a lot for him. And then after he went through the first 25 months, he kept that food drive going, and then he relapsed when he was 12. And we kept it going, and then when he passed away, we decided to keep it going. And it's been going 24 years since then. And it's been growing every year. Yeah. How many kids, how many people do you think you've helped in that time? I have no idea. There's right now Neighbor to Neighbor services over 1,700 appointments a month. So you can imagine. It's a lot. Just for the food bank. Right. And this is a great, it's a food bank, but it's also so much more on Hamilton Mountain. Yes. It's kind of hidden away there off of Upper James. But if you've ever been there, it's a whole community hub. There's gardening there, there's the food bank, there's a bookstore, there's services to help all kinds of people, newcomers. And not just on the mountain. Like the schools, the tutorial is throughout the city. There's over 200 schools that have reading and math tutors that go in to work with kids. There is counseling services. There are tax assistants doing your taxes, immigrant services. So Neighbor to Neighbor is more than just for the mountain. The food bank, typically it's people from the mountain that come, because it makes sense. We have food banks all over the city, but it does services for people in Hamilton. So the drive is starting next month. It kind of really kicks into high gear after March break. But Kyle had told you he wanted you to continue helping people, and you're doing that. You're working closely now with I'm on the board of Neighbor to Neighbor now. I wanted to keep Kyle's dream alive. I wanted to do anything for Neighbor to Neighbor once I retired from the Children's Hospital, and so once I spoke with their executive director at the time, she said, "Why don't you join the board?" Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so next month then we'll be watching for more details. People can donate food, they can donate cash. It's all about helping your neighbor, right? They can donate online. I really encourage people to find out more and more about Neighbor to Neighbor. Yeah, all in Kyle's memory. All in Kyle's memory. Lorraine, thanks for keeping his memory alive. It's an awesome thing. Thank you so much. And we'll get the links up on our website, chch.com/morninglive.